starting to feel away. No, we were not strings attached. Maybe we could take that back. So a few weeks ago, I went to visit my sister in Ho Chi Minh, where she studies, and we had such an amazing time there, and also visiting the north of Vietnam. So today I want to do a recap of my travels and share that with you. Guess where I'm going? So I'm packing. I mean, if you know me, you would know I leave tomorrow. I leave my house around 7 a.m. It's currently 9 p.m. and I'm starting to pack. You know, that's how it always goes with me. I brought my sister food from France because she said that she misses the pasta. So I got her a bunch of pasta. And actually, this is from the US. I know she loves mac and cheese as much as me, and I'm bringing that to her. I'm starting to feel away. No, we were not strings attached. Maybe we could take that back. Okay, all done. I went through security. I went through the border control thing. And now I am just gonna find my gate. I still have 45 minutes before I take off. So that's really early for me. So I was on a Chinese airline, and the food there was actually pretty good, at least on the way there. They didn't have vegetarian options, however, so I just ate what I could on the platter and left the rest. I did have a layover in Xiamen in China, and on the way there it was only 3 hours, so that was totally fine. On the way back it was like 11 hours, which was horrendous. But on the way there I just walked around the airport, explored a little bit, and it went by super fast. And then I boarded my next plane, which would take me to Ho Chi Minh and my sister. So I got there around 2 p.m. local time, and we just went back to her apartment to put my luggage. And then we went to eat lunch, which was a delicious Vietnamese sandwich called a banh mi. Then we went to the 81 Landmark Park, which honestly kind of gave Central Park vibes with the skyscrapers around the park. And we also went on top of the rooftop of the building to get a drink with my sister and her friends. And then we went to have a very typical Vietnamese dish, pizza. And then we headed home because I was completely exhausted. On the next day, my sister had a class the entire day, so I worked the entire day, and then when she got home, we went to the Saigon post office to send a few postcards to our family and friends, which they still have not gotten them as I film this video. They take forever. And then we explored the city, walked around, saw the Christmas decorations, which was completely surreal to us as French people who are used to Christmas in the cold, because it was 30 degrees Celsius, so that's 86 Fahrenheit. And then I also had to discover the Vietnamese nightlife. Of course, it was fun. The next day, we visited the War Remnants Museum, which was a very tough but enlightening experience. It retraces the French colonial rule of Vietnam, and then the resistance of the Vietnamese people, and then the war crimes of the US on the Vietnamese people, and just in general the devastating consequences of this war. And to get around Ho Chi Minh, you use Grab, which are scooters that you get from like an app where you have drivers drive you around, like Uber, but for scooters. And this is because you can't really walk on the streets. There aren't any sidewalks, rarely, and it's not really safe to walk around because you could get hit by a car. And I love this way of transportation, the Grab scooters, because you get to see so much of the city while you get there, and I feel like the transportation is part of the fun. And that evening we had dinner at a pasta place. I took this peanut butter pasta that the taste was great, but the texture not great. So in Vietnam, it's really not expensive to eat out or to order food. So that's what we did most of the time. But we did sometimes make meals at home, like breakfast. We always had it at home, and it did resemble the way that we had breakfast in France. So just oatmeal with granola and peanut butter and fruit. And then for lunch, we had things like this mix of peas with vegan meat and brown rice. One thing you really want to visit in Ho Chi Minh are the cafe apartments. Basically, they are these big buildings, like these big apartment buildings, and each little room or like little tiny apartment is actually a store. So there's lots of fashion, lots of clothing stores, but you also have some food stores and accessories. It is really interesting to get there, first of all, because the entrances, you wouldn't expect it to be the entrance to a store, so that's kind of fun. And then you have a bunch of different stores that are all really close to each other, which is also really practical. And here we were actually able to walk around quite a lot in this neighborhood because there were sidewalks, which was very nice, so we could explore the city a little bit more on foot.
I see you hide yourself underneath the mountain of makeup, plus the words that you made up won't make you any cooler than you are. But when you're with me and you're half asleep and I can count each freckle and see all your beauty that you hide, this ain't usually how you're like. Then you say, don't you be afraid of when your life's gonna end.
We also visited an underground mall, and then we went back to my sister's apartment complex and we went to the gym and we went to the pool, which was wonderful. For dinner, we had banh mi's again. These were the best we tried and you just can never go wrong with them, and we ate them right in front of the Saigon River with like all the buildings. It was wonderful view, wonderful evening, great food. And then later we went grocery shopping. We were missing a few things, so it was really fun for me to look at the Vietnamese grocery stores. Then we were feeling adventurous today. This was the day where we tried a bunch of different Vietnamese foods, snacks, and we even tried durian, which is supposedly the most disgusting fruit in the world.
Okay, we are now going to be testing durian. So this fruit, it looks
so
horrible.
bad.
It smells like rotten eggs. See, it smells like rotten eggs, kind of.
so bad.
It smells horrible, and apparently the taste is not as bad.
No, apparently it's not as bad, but it's not good either.
So we're gonna try right now. Wish us luck. It's so bad. It's disgusting, honestly.
So if you want to see more of that, then watch my video on what I ate in Vietnam. I kind of retrace all the food that I ate throughout the entire trip.
How is life in Hollywood if all your dreams came true? And how come every time we talk you act like you're too cool? The city of angels has you entangled in a chimera of a dream.
Then we went to this huge store, like market, with a bunch of counterfeit items, but they were really well made. We just looked around. It was fun to look around. We didn't buy anything.
You can't hide all this loneliness inside, so you weep and cry by yourself to sleep at night. Now fear consumes your mind. What if I'm not too cut out for this life? Oh, I've never seen you act this way, so I came, booked a one-way to LA, gave up everything, paused my job and changed my name so I could prove to you, hey, what you told me was true. Then you said, don't you be afraid of when your life's gonna end.
And now it was time for us to explore the north of Vietnam. So we took a plane from Ho Chi Minh to Hanoi. And then we took a car to Ninh Binh, which was our first village stop. Let me tell you, we woke up at 2 a.m. to take that plane, and then immediately when we got to Ninh Binh, we went on a bike ride to visit the village. Then we had this incredible lunch buffet. Vietnamese food is in general delicious, but this has to be the best food we had on our whole trip. The buffet was just filled with so many choices. Then we went on this majestic boat ride through just stunning landscapes.
Currently on a boat and we're seeing the most beautiful landscapes ever.
And an elderly woman was actually pedaling our boat with her feet, and that's the way that they do it for this tour, so that was so impressive.
I'm always second guessing what could be your next move. Yeah, I'm just trying to see it from your point of view. Never told you that I need you, cause I thought that you knew that I don't mind.
And then we climbed along the Mua Caves where we watched a spectacular sunset. And that night we took a sleeper bus to go from Ninh Binh to Sapa, which took around like 7-8 hours, I believe. And we were in a VIP bus. It was actually really comfortable. We each had our own little cabin. However, we did not get much sleep because it was moving around a lot in there, and also there are no bathrooms, so we took like a couple bathroom breaks throughout the trip. But we arrived in Sapa just in time for breakfast, where we had the traditional pho and then some rice, noodles, toast, and bread roll. We were greeted by a guide who explained to us what we would do for the 2 days, what the plan was, and then we started our little trek. Oh yeah, and the guide offered us to take a shower at the hotel before we left, but this was the shower situation. So then we started our trek in Sapa. We went through forests and rice paddies, and we were accompanied by local women who did the entire hike wearing flip-flops and carrying a baby on their backs when we could barely do it with correct equipment. So that was very humbling. This experience was totally surreal, very immersive. It was absolutely beautiful to be in, and also to share that with guides and like local villagers who would tell us about the culture and their way of life. Most of the guides spoke good enough English to where we could communicate and they could share experiences and certain things, but a lot of the villagers did not, so we could communicate with smiling and our hands and sometimes Google Translate. They also showed us some of the traditional tools that they use, and we even got to try some.
I wonder if I changed my number, would you wanna know? It's the coldest kind of comfort that we could talk but we don't. We spent summer swimming in a sunset haze, technicolor, crazy how fast it fades. Can't call you up when it's late at night.
And then that night we stayed at a homestay with a bunch of other tourists, and we all shared meals, and we also took a little cooking lesson. It was very fun. For breakfast, pancakes with banana. I feel like they have two breakfast options here. It's either pho or the pancakes with the banana. So the next day we continued our trekking through the forest and the bamboo fields and the rice paddies, and we had information from the guides. The nature and views there were definitely unforgettable, and you're right in the middle of them.
And bring the bottle tonight, red wine to rerun all our memories right. It's just a matter of time before your cheeks turn into peaches and the stars realign. Another glass of wine to find the diamonds in your eyes, darling. Another glass of wine, you know it's time. 3, 2, 1. We're counting shooting stars on the side of my bed, and now your lips tattooed on the side of my neck. Another glass won't kill you, right? Gladly she replies, you got me running circles inside of my head. Now we're doing everything that I wish you had said. Another glass won't kill you, right? Gladly she replies like.
After finishing the trek, we explored the Sapa village with my sister and a new friend who's also French that we met just in Sapa, so that was really funny. We had some egg coffee and mango smoothies, which are things that you find everywhere in Vietnam, very popular, and we admired a stunning view as we drank.
Another glass won't kill you, right? Gladly she replies, you got me running circles inside of my head. Now we're doing everything that I wish you had said. Another glass won't kill you, right? Gladly she replies like.
And then we took our 5 to 6 hour bus to get to Ha Giang. And this was really the highlight of our trip, the Ha Giang loop. So basically for 3 days, we were on motorcycles that were, for my sister and I, driven by local Vietnamese guides because we don't know how to drive motorcycles, but you can drive if you know how to. You can drive on your own, and you're just in the middle of the northern villages of Vietnam with absolutely breathtaking scenery. It was completely crazy. So it's basically a road trip where you're on a motorcycle and you do about, I would say, 4 to 5 hours on the motorcycle each day, getting to one village to another through different villages where you regularly stop to admire the breathtaking scenery and also to share meals with people. So it was always shared meals amongst other tourists that we were riding with from our group, and also our riders, our easy riders, they're called, who are Vietnamese. And one of them from the group, 1 or 2, spoke really good English, so it was really easy to communicate with them. For the others, Google Translate. So then as you ride on the motorcycle, you are completely immersed, and there you have beautiful landscapes around you at all times, and it's just this experience that I've never felt like this doing anything else. You're just completely lost, like this tiny human surrounded by nature, absolutely breathtaking. Also, it was the type of nature that we were not used to seeing that much. It's so many mountains with like forests on the mountains, lots of green, and so much perspective, like so much depth. You could see mountains and mountains and mountains in front of you, next to you, behind you. You're just, again, completely surrounded, which just makes it so surreal.
It's an awful house, and I wanted to get you out. I'm working on a plan right now to come through. I've waited for a lifetime for you to calm down. Oh, nothing feels the same without you now. I've waited for a lifetime for you to calm down, 'cause nothing The second I get caught by you, I wanted you to know that I'm afraid, but we can make it go away. I hope you hear the things I say when I'm choked up next to you. I've waited for a lifetime for you to calm down. Oh, nothing feels the same without you.
You can use different organisms to do this loop, but we went through Ha Giang Go and it was honestly the best experience because the groups were really small throughout the day. There's only 5 of us, and then with our like riders, so there's like a small group of like 9 people. But then at night we still stayed at the homestays and hostels with a bunch of other tourists, and we could party and eat with them and spend the night with them. So I felt like the best of both worlds. And then we also drove through different villages where we could see how local people lived. We saw women washing their clothes in the stream. We saw little kids getting out of school, and it was so interesting because sometimes we saw groups of kids where like the older kid was maybe like 8 years old, and that was the kid leading the group of kids that were 3, 4, 5, and they were just walking on this busy road and getting home from school. It was just so eye-opening to see the way that they lived and to just get different perspectives like that.
What you're saying to me, cause everybody plays the victim till somebody gets vindictive. And it's cruel that you're acting the cute and naive, cause society will take your side for sure. So I guess it's up to me to stand up and sit your attitude down. Then I guess you'll finally see the devil in the mirror that you are. Drowning in octane, burn me down.
And then at night we would come home, share the meal with a bunch of different tourists and our Vietnamese guides and easy riders, and we would have karaoke nights. That was a big thing. That was extremely fun. So this was again not a moment where a lot of sleeping was involved.
I'm a phoenix flying through the fire, wings spread wide, I hold my pride. So I guess it's up to me to stand up and sit your attitude down. Then I guess you'll finally see the devil in the mirror that you are. Driving in octane, burn me down. I'm feeling no pain. Burn me down. Like a star on its celestial run, we've completed the circuit around the sun. A cosmic journey where fate aligns. Embrace the secrets you came to find.
And then the last day was Hanoi. We only had half a day there, so we really tried to make the most of it. So we walked along Train Street, where you have the train tracks that are literally right there, like right next to you on the street. You can eat your little breakfast as the train literally zips past you. Sadly, we didn't get to see a train because they don't come very often and we weren't there for long. Then we walked around the city a little bit. We visited some markets and we also visited 2 temples. We did really well. We really optimized our time there.
Cause baby, like, ooh, it's all another flower lane. The sun goes around the state. Can't wait for the long day. Cause baby, like, ooh, it's all another flower lane. The sun goes around the state. Can't wait for the long day. In the sun, but you come to stay. 'Cause baby,
And then it was time to fly back to Ho Chi Minh for my last night. So we visited Bui Vien Street, which is this street. It's Vegas-like. I feel like it's kind of wild, kind of crazy. Your ears, they ring afterwards because it's so loud and hectic and chaotic, but fun experience. And then in the morning I took the plane to go back home. So sad to leave. I had such an amazing experience. The return food wasn't as good. There weren't as many vegetarian options, so I just kind of ate what I could, and thankfully I had prepared snacks in case this would happen. And now I'm back in Paris. I was so happy to visit this amazing country. If you've never visited, if you're thinking about going, you should definitely go. It's amazing, and it was way beyond my expectations. So that's it for this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like it and subscribe, and see you on my next one. Bye!